Imagine this. A brand new airliner, carrying over 1 million passengers safely in just its first year, suddenly can't get the engine it needs to keep flying. Sounds like science fiction, right? But for China's C919, this was a very real possibility earlier this year. The C919 isn't just any airplane. It's China's first medium-haul trunk jet, built entirely for commercial routes. A plane designed to compete with giants like Boeing and Airbus. After 17 years of development, it finally entered service in May 2023. In less than a year, it racked up 28,000 hours of flight time and safely transported more than 1 million passengers. That's a huge milestone for China's aviation industry. But here's the catch. An aircraft isn't just metal and wings. Its heart, the engine, determines whether it can fly at all. And some U.S. media reported that if tensions escalated, the United States might suspend engine supplies for the C919. If that were to happen, China's ambitious aircraft program could face a production freeze in as little as 3 years. At this moment, Russia stepped forward, saying it could provide alternative engines. But can this promise really save China's aviation plans, or is it just talk? At first glance, it might seem puzzling. Why would the United States risk disrupting a major customer like China by cutting off engine supplies? The answer, honestly, lies beneath the surface, in the tiny, powerful materials known as rare earth elements. These are essential ingredients in just about everything, from smartphones and electric cars to wind turbines and military equipment. In other words, they're small, but they control a lot of power. China dominates this market. While it holds only about 37% of the world's rare earth reserves, it controls over 90% of the global refining and processing capacity, especially for heavy rare earths. This gives China immense leverage, because the United States depends heavily on imports for its own high-tech and defense industries. Over 70% of America's rare earth compounds come from China, with nearly 100% dependence for heavy rare earths. In response, China has tightened its rare earth export policies, requiring strict licensing and clear declarations of end use. This has put pressure on American defense contractors, many of whom have struggled to source alternatives. Some key materials, like samarium used in fighter jet engines, have seen prices skyrocket, in some cases by nearly 60 times. And delivery delays have forced critical military projects to pause. The rare earth reality created a counterbalance. The United States, despite its leverage over engine exports, had to consider the risks of pushing too hard. In July, Washington softened its stance and allowed General Electric and other suppliers to resume deliveries for COMAC. But the underlying tension remains. The lesson is clear. In global aviation, political power and material resources are deeply intertwined. Next, we'll look at how Russia stepped into this high-stakes game with its offer to supply engines to China. Just as the engine supply situation highlighted China's vulnerability, Russia stepped onto the stage with a bold offer to provide aircraft engines if China needed them. On paper, this seems like a lifeline, but the reality is more complicated. Rostec, one of Russia's largest industrial groups, has deep technological capabilities in aviation. Its subsidiary ranks 5th globally among aircraft engine manufacturers, behind giants like GE, Pratt & Whitney, Rolls-Royce, and CFM International. Among its product lineup is the PD-14, a high-thrust turbofan engine already in use on Russia's MC-21 medium-haul jet, which was designed to compete directly with the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320. The PD-14 could, in theory, be adapted to power the C919, offering a potential alternative if Western supplies were cut off. However, adapting a new engine is not as simple as swapping parts. Certification processes, system compatibility, maintenance infrastructure, spare parts, and pilot training all take time. Scaling production to meet hundreds of planes is another major hurdle. While Russia has the technical expertise, delivering at the scale and pace China needs is a different challenge altogether. In short, Russia's offer is real, but whether it can fully replace Western engines is uncertain. China, meanwhile, isn't relying solely on outside help. It has been accelerating its own domestic engine development as a parallel strategy. Next, we'll explore China's homegrown solution, the CJ1000A engine, and what it means for the future of the C919. China isn't standing still while the global politics of engine supply play out. Its answer comes in the form of the CJ1000A, the country's first domestic commercial engine with the potential to replace the LEAP-1C. This engine represents not just technology, but China's determination to achieve self-reliance in aviation. The CJ1000A is designed with modern features, a thrust of about 13 tons, composite fan blades, and a fully digital control system. Its fuel efficiency is already close to that of the LEAP series, and it has completed a 150-hour core endurance test, a significant milestone on the path to certification. High-altitude test flights are planned on the C919, and the target for type certification is before 2026, with mass production expected by 2027. This is 3 years ahead of previous projections, signaling a rapid acceleration in China's domestic engine capabilities. Yet there are still challenges. Any new engine must undergo thousands of hours of stable operation testing. A complete maintenance system must be established. Spare parts networks must be built, and pilots need to adapt to operational differences. Still, this engine embodies China's long-term strategy, reducing dependence on foreign technology and laying the foundation for a self-sufficient aviation industry. It's a statement that, no matter what geopolitical pressures arise, China is preparing to keep the C919 flying. Next, we'll bring everything together and explore what this all means for the future of global aviation. The story of the C919 isn't just about a single airplane. It's a window into the complex web of technology, politics, and global supply chains. On one side, the United States and its partners control critical engine technology that can influence production schedules. On the other, China holds the upper hand in rare earths, materials essential to modern aviation and defense industries. Russia's offer of engines adds another layer of complexity, while China's domestic CJ1000A engine demonstrates a determined push for self-reliance. In the short term, the C919 faces vulnerability. Delays in engine or component supply could disrupt production schedules. In the medium term, the geopolitical tug-of-war over aviation technology and rare earths will continue to shape strategy on both sides. And in the long term, China's domestic advancements may reduce dependence on foreign suppliers, creating a new balance in the global aviation industry. The C919 saga shows how deeply interconnected the world of aviation has become. One part, one engine, or one rare material can ripple across continents, affecting manufacturers, governments, and passengers alike. It's a reminder that technology, politics, and strategy are inseparable in shaping the planes that connect the world. If you want to follow the next developments in China's aviation program, from the CJ1000A flight tests to the latest global supply chain moves, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. The skies are changing, and we'll keep you up to date with every engine test and policy shift.